Good morning, Realtor Avery.
Good morning, Aranda Koychuk.
Awesome. Thank you. It's so nice to be back in Rochester. It,
Aw,
it is. I feel that way.
it's good to be home, right?
Yeah, it was nice last week to be down in Jacksonville, visiting my family and everything, but it does. It feels great. It feels great to be home.
Yes. Home is where the heart is.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Well, we're
Well,
glad to have you back.
thanks. Thanks. I want to give a special shout out to, and speaking of my family, but especially my brother Troy, who might be watching this broadcast right now. He asked me for the link earlier. He said, "Hey, can you send me that link? I want to watch." And they have a super cool YouTube channel. Troy and my sister-in-law Linda run a YouTube channel for camping and campers, and they travel all over the country. And they have a special this kind of camper. I don't know anything about it, but their channel, Wines, Pines, and Canines, and they've been doing this for like 5 years, and they've built up quite an audience. They put out one video every Friday, and they have built up a significant audience. And I dare I use the word monetized? They're a little bit monetized, which is pretty sweet. So welcome, Big Brother Troy, to the show. If you have anything to say, Big Brother, go ahead and put it in the chat. And another cool thing I saw in getting ready for the show, I went over to YouTube real quick, and I saw how I can look at the live YouTube and I can see comments. So if anybody comments, I can see it, which is
Perfect.
nice.
Teamwork. So you can keep an eye on that. I'm keeping an eye on Facebook. And what we will do too is put the link to Troy's show. We'll share that because you've mentioned it before. And of course, it's one of those things if you don't do it right away.
Yeah.
And I would like to watch it, right? So
Yeah.
we see go ahead.
Merry Christmas to JT Morrisville. Welcome to the show. Thank you for watching, JT Morrisville. Merry Christmas. That's what I love about this time of year. Just say Merry Christmas. It's so nice.
Well, you can say everything, right? Because if you don't know what someone's celebrating, you could.
Right. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Find out. Happy
greetings,
Wednesday.
Right. Whatever your holiday is. They're all good holidays.
Yes. Yes.
Right
Perfect.
on. Okay.
Perfect.
But it's the middle of the month, and we're kind of looking at, we're kind of right now, we're kind of looking at we're kind of looking at data. We're looking at what happened, like what is going on in our real estate market. Are our prices up? Are sales down? What's this? What's going up? What's going down? And I know you were looking at some areas in particular in Erie County. So why don't you tell me a little bit more about what you looked at, and especially not just Erie County, but Erie County's I'm going to say Chautauqua County is probably bigger land-wise, than Erie County, but population-wise, obviously much smaller. But yeah, what should we know about that? What's going on down there?
Well, I think, we tend to use that phrase, all real estate is local, right? So when you're watching numbers, you really do need to drill down. That being said, you need to start with the big picture. You need to start with the big view and then work your way to something that impacts you directly. So in Erie County, if we look at our entire county, right now, and again, it's the entire county, but just single family and condo HOAs, right? So we're not including vacant land or commercial or things like that. Right now, we have a 1.33 months of inventory. And, we talk about, so it's kind of like in any profession, we get used to the phrases, the numbers, the acronyms, right? So you hear that months of inventory. But what does that really mean? It basically says if we took no more new listings, excuse me, of single family home or condos, our shelves would be empty in 1.3 months. That's all we have left, right? So we need those new properties coming on the market to keep it going. Then we look at the median days on the market, right? So how long does it take to get those new houses sold? In the county, that's about 10 days, right? So, in the past, we saw that number as low as 3 or 4 days, right? And so 10 feels 3 times as long.
Yeah,
but
it's still only 10
days. Right. So when it's data helps you decide or justify or explain emotions and what's happening. So if you list your home with a realtor and you're maybe 5 days in and you feel like everybody else said their house sold in a day, they could have been exaggerating,
Hmm.
or 3 years ago.
Hmm. I was watching Housing Wire, and they were the thing. It's a little frustrating for me, although I get why they do it. But their stats talk, their data tracker is always tracking mortgage rate, mortgage rate, mortgage rate, and I get it. Like that has a huge impact on the behaviors of our market. But what I thought they did mention a really cool stat, which I thought was really interesting. And I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something significant, like 25 or 35%. And it was an increase in the number of property descriptions that include the word cozy in the description. A cozy house, a cozy this, a cozy. And so, and what they go, they're like, so the descriptions of properties using the word cozy is up significantly. And so what is that telling us? That's telling us that maybe the average square foot per property being listed is going down. The smaller square footage properties are going down. And I think that's happening because the price of homes is going up so much. And we're talking about this a little bit of an affordability crisis a little bit. And
Mhm,
people really can't maybe get that first house that's 2,000 or 2,500 square feet. Their first house is cozy, right? A little.
mhm.
So I thought it was a cute little stat, a cute little data piece.
Well, it's funny because, if I look at my, deeper numbers,
Oh yeah,
right? What
you
you
went
just
deep.
ki
You took
I
a deep dive.
I
Well
I
done.
love stats. Okay, so to what you just said, right? If we look
Yeah.
at the properties that are pending, a contract has been accepted, they haven't closed yet. Our median square footage there in Erie County, all of the county,
Yeah.
1,495.
Do you want me to put that slide up? Do you want me to, you got
No,
this?
that's
You're sure?
because
Okay.
I didn't send you these because
Okay.
I know I'm the anomaly.
Got it.
Pending listings, 1,480 square feet.
Uh-huh. That
Excuse
sounds
me. Now,
cozy.
the new listings have gotten slightly bigger. The new
Hmm.
listings month to month have gone up 0.8% in average in median square feet to 1,544.
Oh, a little bit bigger.
So 1,500 square feet,
Hmm.
and for everything that you said. So it's kind of nice that, again, you might meet with a realtor and we're going to give you our opinions. We're going to tell you what we think, and we think what we think because we are watching this data. Even if we're not literally pulling up these reports,
Hmm.
we're seeing it day to day.
Right.
We're seeing it when we look at properties online. We're seeing it when we, talk with our agents here about what's
Hmm.
going on in the market. So you're very correct that affordability is making houses a little bit smaller. Also, you know, I think culturally, the days of the McMansions, we're not seeing as many of those.
Right.
We are seeing, predominantly, even in new construction, what used to be big 4,000 square foot homes. We toured a new home development a few weeks ago, 2,200 square feet, 2,300 square feet. Very, very affordable and certainly very livable.
I think that's partly a function of the interest rate. When interest rates were 3.5%, they could have, the 250 or 300,000 or 500, that whatever would build. You would get a bigger house because your monthly payment was going to be lower because of the interest rate. Now that it's, in a healthy, like overall healthier economy, and our interest rate is higher, um, but that affordability has gone down, and so that the houses have to be smaller. Absolutely. But
True.
because it's all about the monthly payment, right? That's what we boil down to. We go, that's what's your monthly payment? Don't worry about the price. Just what's your monthly payment?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
that's the way we've been
That's the way
selling
it goes.
cars for years,
Oh,
right?
maybe I got a backup plan if I ever need to go back up,
Hey.
sell cars. Um, cool. All right. So
So what's
Chautauqua
happening
County. So did
oh,
you were in Chautauqua County, then we scooted in some out of Chautauqua County. Did I
so
just miss it?
I think so. Again, I just went over a little bit of Erie County, that 1.3 months of inventory.
Okay.
Still very, very strong, strong, strong sellers market. Chautauqua County, just like you said, Chuck, uh, population less, geography, more, right?
Mhm.
So the number of transactions are going to be lower in Chautauqua County just because the population is lower. So right now in Chautauqua County,
Mhm.
still a seller's market. There, the months of inventory is 2.85, right?
Mhm.
So more than
Mm.
double of Erie
Wow.
County. And yet the median days that a property is on the market, 14.
Wow.
So again, it's a little bit longer supply because of our current inventory, but still good houses that come on the market, they are selling. The median sold price there, 202,000, and that's up 20% month over month. So it's really a strong market. Again, with the days on market being only 14, it's a clear indication that there is a high demand for homes. They are selling quickly. Buyers are eager to secure
Mhm.
properties in that competitive market. So don't think that, oh, it's a little quieter. I
Mhm.
don't have to act with the same speed or intensity. It's still going to be competitive. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, our numbers are a little bit more bananas than yours. As we said, Rochester, for whatever reason, we lag a little bit behind. I'm sure we're going to get to over a month of inventory available for sale, you know, at some point, maybe in the next 12 months. But right now, we're still low inventory. It was 0.68 of a month of inventory in Rochester, which is crazy, right? Um, and even now, like I remember back in 2020, 2021 was when everybody was really chiming in about, oh my gosh, there's no inventory, there's no inventory. And I was kind of saying something a little different. I said, there really is inventory. It's just selling so much faster, right? Like it's almost immediately selling because I saw that the pending was still holding up at a pretty steady level, but now we're actually seeing the pending has gone down. So we are seeing like just a reduction in the number of properties, that are coming on the market, and they're going pending in Rochester, at least, in a very, very quickly. So we're still extremely over demanded. And that's, I think, partly because our average price point is lower than it is in Buffalo. Buffalo's a more expensive market. So I think there's still people that are looking at Rochester as the answer. I mean, because our biggest issue right now, I think, is an affordability crisis.
Mhm.
So
Do
yeah.
you see in your area, Chuck, and what you see with people you talk to, your agents,
Mhm.
clients, do you see any buyer fatigue?
So yeah, do I see any? Not. It's hard to gauge right now. Um, it's hard to gauge right now because we're so distracted with holidays, right? Um, but n- yeah, no, I haven't seen that. I think our agents, that's one of our biggest challenges, and we've learned how to, again, with your buyers, listen, just keep going. And I think buyers are writing better offers. I Right. I think we're able to coach them into better offers that are more successful sooner. So I don't think we're quite as experiencing as many buyers who are writing on that 15th or 20th house before they finally get an accepted offer. Um, so yeah,
That's good.
I
It's good
feel that
because
way.
those are painful lessons.
That's very painful.
When you miss out and you go back to say, "Could I have done something different?"
Hmm.
I think when you're writing an offer for someone and perhaps they need a mortgage, they have financing, and you're up in competition against someone who maybe is coming in
Yeah.
without a financing contingency.
I,
Um,
yeah. We just did something. So we've got a new. So here in Rochester. We're gonna, I think, be introducing a new caucus to our board real soon. And in our meeting about it, one of the things we talked about, and I think it's one of the most important things. And I think as especially listing agents, hopefully we're going to be coaching our sellers a little bit more into being open to not open. Maybe that's not the right word, but there's option. There's not everybody has to get a conventional loan. An FHA loan is a fantastic loan. A VA loan is an amazing loan. And when somebody's going to get a VA loan and they're going to finance 100% of the purchase price, it doesn't mean they don't have any money. It doesn't mean they're less qualified than someone with conventional putting 20% down, right? It
mhm.
means it means that they are a veteran and they have this amazing benefit and they want to take advantage of it because the cost to borrow the money is so low. Like I would want to borrow that all too.
Right.
You know, so I think one of the things that we can do to help our sellers, and it's going to help the buyers as well, is educate all of our realtors about the diversity of loan programs available, and that not everybody has to go conventional, and you can actually improve the experience for your seller by having more options for buyer. Like, that's how you get more offers at the table, offer more types of financing, you know
Right.
so.
I think, and I like that, Chuck, because I sometimes people have a concern for appraisal amounts,
Hmm.
but we have been in this market with increasing prices for so long. I have not seen in our area many appraisal issues because the comps are there.
Right.
The other properties that have already sold for those high prices,
Hmm.
the appraisers can pull those very easily. And
Hmm.
so, where you may have had a concern for appraisals when the market was escalating so quickly, I
Hmm.
don't think we have that same concern today.
No, absolutely. And there's so much cash in the market, right? And that was another thing Housing Wire talks about a lot. Is he says there's 40% of the homes are free and clear in the country. There's so much there's so much pent up equity in the homes.
Yes.
So yeah, there in the and so there's so much cash. That's supporting the appraisal market, right?
Right.
So
Right. So
yeah.
yeah, I agree, and I like the phrase too that you know what, if I'm buying your house, Chuck, and I'm getting a mortgage, the bank is giving you cash at closing.
Yes.
It's just
Right.
not my cash.
Right.
But the bank is going to give you a check and I'm going to pay them back every month, right?
I love
So
it.
I'm getting a mortgage. It's not like you're loaning me the money.
No.
You're getting
No.
cash at closing.
What do you care what type of loan somebody gets to buy your house? Why would you possibly care? Like,
Yeah.
if they're
And we also have
qualified, the bank is not giving them a pre-qualification letter if they're not pre-qualified. I don't
exactly.
I don't care what you call the type of loan it is.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
um,
holding my first priority pen, which I always use because it's
yeah.
great with the stylus at the
I
end too.
don't know if I have that one here.
But their cash advantage program, it gives it even more
Mhm,
security than a true plain old cash offer. The cash
mhm,
advantage is guaranteed closing.
mhm.
Cash deals have the highest fall through rate, but
But
cash advantage, 0% chance of falling through.
right, cash advantage is better than cash.
Better than
It's one of
cash.
those one of those things. People don't get it,
Yes.
but it
Yes.
is. I love it.
Um,
So, yeah.
but I think it's true. We look at, and to your point, one of the other things that we can look at with our wonderful stats, we also just look at how are property values changing, right?
Mm,
Maybe you're not thinking about selling in 2025, but you're curious, what's the value of my property? Like I'm sitting on equity, right?
yes.
And so, if I look at now, I dug a little deeper into the town of Amherst, looking at the whole town of Amherst, one of the biggest towns in Erie County, the last year, the 12-month history of estimated property value. So this is the value of everything. It doesn't matter if you're selling or not selling, up 9.5% in the past year.
That's
So
called
that
a that's
still
that
is good.
that's awesome. That's the transfer of wealth. And if you're not a property owner, you don't get to participate in it. You have to be a
Yeah.
property owner to participate in the transfer of wealth. So
It's like
yeah,
saying I put my money in the bank, right? And did I
mm,
earn 9.5% increase in my
sign me up.
savings account?
Right. No,
Probably not.
sign me up. I'll do
Probably
that.
not. Right? So, good to know. Good to know. We have a great, very quick report that we can do for people. So if you're out there and you want to know what your market value is, contact your favorite Howard Hanna realtor and we can run that report for you. My day is complete.
Um, okay. I wonder what questions people have. We talk about stats once a month. We do a little stats show, and I wonder if anybody's watching, if you want to put in a comment, like, what's the real estate stat that really drives your behaviors, or what are you always wondering about? What are you curious about? What do you wish your local professional realtor would keep you up to date on? What are you nervous about? What are you worried about? Um, have you just bought a home in the last couple of years? What have you found? Did you buy a house like, Kath and I got our house in I think it was 2014. And what have you noticed since then? You know, tell us your story. What kind of data would you like to hear more about? We aim to please.
I love to watch how long it takes from closing to moving, right? Like
Mm.
So I can tell you on the way to work this morning, I drove my same I vary it up. My mother was in real estate and she told me a realtor
Mhm,
never drives the same route twice. You need to
mhm.
always be driving a different way back and forth. That's how you're seeing what's changing in the market. That's when you're seeing new signs and what's happening. And so when I drive by and I see on my path to the office a moving truck, I'm like, "Ooh, how exciting." Like that's, I think, oh, first of all, good for you that you hired someone to do this because it is hard work.
Mhm.
Those movers work so hard. Oh my gosh. In any event, like it's exciting. So I like to watch, like, okay, when you sign the papers, when are you moving? Where are you going? Like, and I'm looking at that thinking, oh, how exciting. You're going to be somewhere new before the year ends. Someone's going to move into your house before the year ends. Like, what a happy, happy thing that's going on. So I like to watch
Absolutely.
the days from contract to closing.
And don't be nervous about moving in January. I gotta tell, we moved into our house in the middle of January 2014. We closed, I think it was December 30th. And then we had our place that we rented for a year. And the place we were renting, we had it for another month through the end of January. So we just had to move in January. And we had such a nice time moving in January. We got this heat wave. It was like the 12th or the 13th. It got up to 60, 65 degrees. It was awesome. And so that weekend, and that was the weekend before we were official, like the movers were coming. So, we did all our boxes, all our extra stuff, small stuff. We put it in the car. We went to the house, we put stuff in. And then the next weekend, it was 20 degrees and the movers were, all bundled up and moving our furniture. We didn't care. We had, but it really, I don't know. I mean, maybe we got lucky. Okay, fine. But sometimes you get lucky.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to get lucky.
Right, because you could say, "I'm gonna wait. I wanna close. I wanna move in the summer because the weather will be better." Well, you get a rainy, hot day, that's just as bad as moving in the cold.
Awesome. Oh, look at that. JT Morrisville. I put his comment on the thing. Merry Christmas, everyone. I agree. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. I think, isn't
Hanukkah?
Hanukkah, doesn't that start like Christmas Day and go for 8 days after this
Yeah.
year?
Oh,
No?
it could.
I think it does. I saw that. So, all
Exciting.
right. Very exciting. All right.
Yes. Alright, so what other stats do you like to look at, Chuck? I'm keeping an eye on Facebook for anything other than
Okay.
days for closing. I know Gina's watching us. Hello to you,
Yeah.
Gina.
I like to look at days on market because because that's one of the ways I help my buyers get properties, right? I set filters for 15 or more days on market, and we kind of maybe target those properties. Um, but to me, yeah, days on market tells a lot, right? Which goes back to what you opened up with talking about the absorption rate, um, and in Rochester, in Genesee County, and Monroe County, where our absorption rate is a little higher. Um, Meaning it's inverse. We have less, and our days on market is a little bit lower. So I think days on market really tells a lot. It's really one of the best measures of supply and demand. Um, and lists the sale price ratio. One of the things I looked at before coming on this morning, because I was down in Jacksonville last week, and I looked at the area where my mom lives and where my brother Craig live, and their their sup- uh, supply, was 2.95 months, like almost 3 months of supply. And I said, "Whoa, oh my gosh!" Um, and how fantastic. So I don't want anyone. I think we have a great community because of everybody who is in Western New York. You're our peeps, and you're our community. I want you to stay. But if you've been thinking about going to Florida, now might be the great time because you're going to max out for your sale price in Western New York, and maybe you're getting a little bit of a discount down south. So that is something we're seeing, right? In other parts of the country, we're seeing markets start to go on discount a little bit. We're seeing, trend
Mhm.
changes, more inventory coming on. So you gotta, if you are, if it, we try to mostly real estate's mostly driven by life events. Um, but there's a little wiggle room. And if you've got a life event you predict coming up in the next 12 to 18 months, you might want to push it up a little bit sooner.
Right. Or at least look at it, right? Like look at, is there a way that you make it work? Is there a way, if, in your scenario, if you needed to stay in Western New York, maybe you planned for another year or so, maybe you make that investment in Florida and rent it out for a year.
Yeah.
Have two properties and then eventually, make that move, right? Like, so, but looking at how am I going to maximize my opportunities? Have that consultation with your Howard Hanna realtor to talk about it, right?
Right.
And with our we're affiliated with leading real estate companies of the world.
Mm-hmm.
We have partner brokers literally around the world.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, well, you know how, what's that phrase, or there's a thing, if I'm thinking about buying a car and I go test drive a whatever, a Volvo, I will start seeing them everywhere because now it's
Mm.
top of mind, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Um, I will be going to Panama in February. So
Wow.
we'll have to talk about that first week of show, unless I'm going to
Okay.
do a remote from Panama. But now
Yeah.
I
We're
keep hearing about
international.
so many people who have either traveled to Panama, are thinking of retiring to Panama. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll go check out one of our leading RE brokers when I'm in Panama, and look to set up some get to know some referral sources.
Very
So
interesting. Okay.
maybe you want to go farther south than Florida. You know, so many people like Costa Rica and want to retire to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
One of our managers here in Buffalo, he always talks about going to Costa Rica.
Okay.
So, you know, we can help you with all those changes. That's what we need to do. I'll get some market stats for next month on Panama.
Great.
See what
Awesome.
the average sale price is there.
Wow. Yeah. I don't. Okay. Well, that's exciting. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to the next couple of shows that we have coming up. We got our show on Christmas Day and then a show on New Year's Day, which was kind of fun the way the Wednesdays work out this year. So, I look forward to seeing our audience again. I'm really excited. This is a fun time. We just had our manager holiday party last night. That was so much fun. We did our office did we were a business participant in the Seabreeze Volunteer Fire Department Christmas Parade last weekend. Seabreeze is so cool. Like it's such an old, like the Jackrabbit, roller coaster. It's the second oldest continuously operating wooden roller coaster in the country. It's so cool. So we were in the parade and we got a little award. We won best appearing business. So there was 24 entries into the parade. Some were this kind of a thing, them or that. So they put them in groups, and we were in the business group, and we won the business group. So
That's awesome. That's
yay.
awesome. Congratulations.
It
If
was
I
so
knew
much
how to
fun.
do the applause, I would. So
Oh
feel
man,
free.
I know how to do the applause. I'll give
Do
myself
the
applause.
applause. I love
Yeah.
I love great memories. My Rochester cousins, the Jennings, we always did our summer trip to Seabreeze, and it was the best.
It really is a cool place. Shout out to, my entire team at the office who we had, it was such a fun event too, because wasn't just my agents, but my agents brought their families. We needed extra help, frankly, because we were handing out little bags to all the kids along the parade route. We handed out almost 800 bags. Um, but especially shout out to my entire team here, but especially Bill Briggs. He was the leader and set this all up, and really was the point person, making sure everything got done on time. And he did a
That's
tremendous job.
awesome.
So way to go,
That's
guys.
awesome. And again, congratulations for getting that award for all your hard work.
Thanks.
And it sounds fun.
It
So
was fun. Yeah, everybody's like, I can't wait to do this next year. So
perfect.
cool.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh, I got stuff popping up on my screen here. Oh boy. All right. Well, Lisa, I'm good. I feel good with those
Yes.
numbers. Thank you for sharing that info about Erie County and Chautauqua County. And like I said, really looking forward to the next couple of shows. It's gonna be fun.
Yes. We look forward to seeing you all these weeks through the end of the year and into next year.
All right. Merry Christmas. Cheers, everybody. See you soon.